Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Voice of People TV. And also I could say hello and welcome to the Weekend Sports on VOP TV. And I have with me big guys in the studio today, but we're talking about this true. Then say no to talk back. Now, let's get to talking ways. Now, you will recall I told you something the other time about the Nigerian Football Federation and also the female and the male category. It's now so big, and on the show, guess what? We're bringing you everything you need to know, all of the clips, so you don't say we're just saying it. Now, number one is that Zida Oshola, the 5-time African Women Player of the Year, has criticized the Nigerian Football Federation NFF for unequal treatment of the Super Falcons compared to the Super Eagles. She highlighted the persistent gender pay gap and neglect of women's team despite the success on the global stage. Moving on, Oshola questioned why the men team receives more pay, like you could say more money, you could say salary, more wage for same job. Now, she stated that we are also entertaining, and so I see no reason why anyone would think someone deserves to be paid more than we, the ladies. Now, it's about the Nigerian Football Federation, the women category, the male category, and as well, the NFF justifies the pay gap by claiming the men's team brings in more money. But Asida Oshola argues the lack of promotion for the women's team, and she says it's a key factor. She pointed out the reason why the Super Eagles receive widespread publicity, and she's questioning why the Super Falcons also receive minimal attention. She called for respect, visibility, and investment, stating that this story is so it's so funny to talk about. Like, how do you go from here? She has called for respect, visibility, and investment, stating that with proper support, the women team could potentially generate even greater returns. So there's no PR for the women category. Now, also, Super Falcons star, this is like another shocking story about this. Michelle Alozie has publicly criticized the Nigerian Football Federation NFF for the unequal treatment of the women's national team compared to their male counterparts, the Super Eagles. In a candid revelation on the YouTube show, now Alozie shared her experience about the said story. She said this is not supposed to be done so. She shared her experiences, highlighted the lack of basic amenities provided to the public, provided to the Super Falcons during the training camp. Now, we'll bring it out very clear so you see for yourself. Now, how do we go from here? Still on the Super Eagles news and the female Super Falcons. Whose support do you believe? The Nigerian Football Federation is not saying no. They're not arguing this one. They're saying the reason why the male earn more money is because they are the bigger side, because they have the bigger names. So just all of these excuses, does it hold any water for you? That's the question. Now, let's bring you a clip so it doesn't sound like we're just talking about it. So you see for yourself. Just watch, sit back, possibly enjoy, if that's the word, and see for yourself how these ladies are complaining. They are saying we are not being treated right. And for me, I feel like this is unfair. Just watch this, we'll be back shortly.
Because this is coming off the Olympics, I just hope it sent a message to the Federation and just do better for the team, be there.
We're just playing because this is what we love to do. You know, with all of the chaos back home, this is one thing that gives Nigeria joy. There's less investment in the sport and you expect to succeed. It doesn't work that way.
I feel like the overarching lesson being learned not only in this Olympic period, but just being on the Super Falcons in general is that like we can only do so much, we can only control so much, and we can't allow the uncontrollables to control us. We could be like such an amazing team if we just had the right resources or like people that were truly behind us and lifting us up instead of like almost bringing us down. With the right belief in us, we would be unstoppable, truly.
Super Eagles, if they have a game, it's all over the social media. It's everywhere. The banners are everywhere. But Super Falcons have a game, you barely see one post on social media.
I remember my first camp in Nigeria and I asked them, like, okay, training's done. Like, I have all of this dirty clothes. I'm like, where's laundry? And they're like, oh, do you need soap? Like, what do you mean I have to hand wash? Like, why would I have to hand wash it? We're here to do a job at the end of the day. Like, we're all professional athletes. Small things like that where we also know that the Super Eagles are not doing hand washing, so why should we?
So you need people to play together because we're all playing in different countries, different kind of football, style of play, different coach with different instruction, and you come into a place in less than few days, you want to play together and play a match.
When we are leading into these really large tournaments like the Olympics and we have back-to-back camps canceled, and we're not given a reason why, or we see the Super Eagles and they have their camps, but our camps are getting canceled, or even the Falconettes or the U17 men's team. We're like, why are they having the opportunity and we don't? But we are also going to one of the largest tournaments, and it's our first time in 16 years.
We had the same hotel with them, and I have a teammate, so then I just went to their floor. They had the physiotherapy room there, and I'm like, I could see all the equipment set down for those players, you know, the recovery drinks, they recover everything, and you see like 4 physios taking care of different players on different couch. I was in the Olympics, virtually almost 100 minutes of every games. I didn't even go to the physio, just because we only have one physio treating all the players.
We could play this on and on and on and on and on so you can watch for yourself. This is absolutely crazy, I tell you. Now, I don't know. Let me start with Oshola. She said, whenever we have a game and the Super Eagles have a game, I mean, for the Super Eagles, there's always
Coming up the Olympics, I just go.
There's always this publicity. You see banners everywhere for the Super Eagles. We know the hype, right? But for the Falcons, no publicity. Now, Alonzi, you know her. She's born abroad, you could say, not in Nigeria. She came back to our camp, to play for the Super Falcons. And she said it. This is like a media route. And she said, I asked them, where's the laundry? And they told me, laundry. You want soap? Soap. So she could use her hand. Soap. Like, they gave, she was surprised. She'd not seen that before. Now, you heard, as I said, at the place Atletico Madrid, the ladies category. She said, when I watched, she said, I played at the Olympic for 100 minutes, like all of the time I was part of the team. Now, something struck my mind when she talked. She said in the Super Eagles, when you go there, you see physiotherapists, they're everywhere. But she needed the touch, just possibly a massage, she just eased herself, but she could not during the female category. That each time she goes there, just one person, one physio, and I go through all of them, one person. And that's it. I used to think that they were not making sense, but when you look at all of these things, you understand. I can't recall the nation that advocated for, I have analysts here who just remind me they're here to tell me that was the nation we had and we learned at this point in time, the male and the female category are earning the same thing. Now, this is the national team. Let's get it right. NFA, NFF now, Nigerian Football Federation. Nigeria Football Federation. Federation is the people. Now, why are we seeing this happen? Guys, welcome to the show today. It's a weekend kickoff Saturday morning. Ikechukwu, you're great to be part of the show. David, I see you. Ikechukwu, your bank is really working well. And Jerry, great to have you guys on the show. I'd like to start with Ike quickly. Let's get on this one. What do you make about the story?
Well, good morning, our viewers. Good morning to you guys in studio. Kizzy, the truth is, it's sad to hear stuff like this, but I think that we should not be too emotional about this sort of story.
All of these things
as regards the pay, right?
Okay, the pay.
Yes. That's where the conversation.
What about the treatment?
The treatment. They deserve everything the male category, get.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, right? If we look at this whole story, it tells you how badly run our football is. How terrible we actually view sports. Sports is a big business, right? And then the only way you can actually encourage more people to come in is, via a word of mouth and referral. And who are the very best persons to do this, apart from those who are actually, living the life? Right? If you treat these ladies who are, supposed to be role models for the young girls coming up, how do you expect, people coming up to be part of it? How do you even expect parents to actually encourage their daughters to actually do this?
Yeah, to go into this.
Right. Now, I always look at this from a particular prism. Life generally is not equal, right? All fingers are not equal. Okay. So you cannot get equality, but you can bid for equity, and that's what we should be talking about. Now, equity in this sense. If you have a 5-foot wall, right? A fence that is about 5 feet. And then you want everyone to actually see what is beneath there. And now we have people who are about 6 feet, we have people who are 7 feet, and then you have dwarfs among them. Equity means you have to just bring something to also, let's say about 4 feet high wood for the dwarf to climb, so the dwarf can also see.
Yeah.
But when it comes to that's what the female deserves in terms of, how they should be treated, physio, laundry, whatever it is the male they should get. I'm not against that. Even the food, everything. Right. But when it comes to money, you have to also be very, very honest with yourself. Female category doesn't make as much money as the male category anywhere in the world. So you don't expect them to actually be paid as much as the male.
Okay, so David, tell me your own talk about this. I'd like to ask you this and say this. They said, when there's a game to be played, the publicity is so high. But when it comes to theirs, no one's talking about them. And also, most of the matches are usually cancelled. Yet, they still play at the biggest tournament.
Well, first off, good morning, Kizzy, and of course, good morning to
welcome
the guys
to the
at the
show,
studios, and of course to our viewers. So from the position of Ike is where I'm going to come from. The treatments should be equal. Because when it comes to trophies, when it comes to tournaments, I mean, it's just what it is. I dare say, without mixing words,
right,
the Super Falcons have won the AFCON 9 times.
Yeah.
And our own Super Eagles, aside, thank God for the likes of
just
Stephen
3
Keshi,
times, right.
who
Else
are,
will happen twice.
it's now
That's
just
so
2 times.
shameful, up to date.
So it means that these ladies are delivering on the job. For funding, yes, we know it's not going to be equal. That one is.
I'm still yet to know why it's not going to be equal, but just go on.
All over the world, it's just what it is. There's that disparity of payment, you know. But again, I feel for once that the NFF should carefully know how to manage these ladies, because all of the precedents set in the past and then looking at the future, it's not even looking like the Nigerian Football Federation know what it's doing. A couple of months ago, we had an exclusive with Rashida Tajibade, former Super Falcons player, and she was saying the girl child does not want to get into the game, and because of the way they've been treated. Yes, she came in with some, sponsors, and of course, some people that were going to pick some girls from a tournament that she had at Lagos. In the end, you get to find out that there is no major kind of sponsorship for female football in Nigeria.
Okay, in Nigeria.
Yeah, in Nigeria, basically. Yes, you want to say that the females are doing even far better when it comes to results. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Over the World Cups that we've gone to, I can't even say if the females have gone to more World Cups than the men. And in the end, waiting will bring come back. No good football in the end. But my take is this: they should be given equal treatment. For the money, they might have to look into it and know how to manage it and not let these ladies suffer the way they are suffering.
Okay, so Jerry, let me talk to you on this now. I don't know if you want to go contrary to what they're saying. Ike David E, they are standing on one part, treatment-wise poor, but treatment should be like the same, but for the pay, not the same. But don't forget, we've not even tried pushing them out to know.
Even the pay safe, sometimes then some of our boys they pay safe.
Okay. Oh, you know that. Okay, no, let's be realistic now. They've not had a publicity like we ought to see. Now we're only saying, yes, big names of Simon, Lookman, and the rest of that, but this list is also playing. Now I have it here, a list of countries with more equal pay between genders. Let me just talk 4. We have Korea Republic, 31.06%. There's an Israel, 24.32%. And Latvia, Japan. You might not want to say this one's a big side, but this is like the top 4 assistants. What's your say about this scenario?
Yeah, when it comes to the issue of equal
Gender.
treatment,
Right.
when it comes to football, you stylishly look, countries that are taking it seriously are countries where football is not a major sport.
Okay.
And as football is not a major sport, it's quite easier because even the women are even doing better than the men.
Right.
Say for the United States of America, the women can hold sway and say, yes, we have won the World Cup. The men have only been able to manage to make it to the quarterfinals of the World Cup, which was only once. And so, on that note, you have to give them equal pay, even more pay than the men. And I will surely agree. I remember the captain of the side, I can't remember her name now. She was the one who really championed it, that the women should be getting equal pay. And it was carried out because if you look at the statistics, shows that the women have been doing better. Say for Japan, the women, I think they've made it to the final once or twice.
They're champions.
Latvia was the main football, was the achievement. So look at around those countries. Korea, I think the last time we saw Korea was Korea-Japan when they made it to the semi-final and the third place.
We know what happened, how they got there.
We know how they got there. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But if you take a look at the issue of the Super Falcons, I think if those who are managing football carefully market this team very well. They can even get more money than the Super Eagles. That is if they are well marketed. Because
you don't think they are well marketed, right?
They are not well marketed by the NFF. The NFF has failed to take the Super Falcons as a brand and get something out of it. Even, for instance, do you know that the Falconets, the Flamingos, their own situation is even worse? Because now,
I also mentioned Falconets.
if you even notice, stylishly, they are beginning to have a situation where they are now getting foreign players into the Super Falcons, which is now a style in the Super Eagles under Amaju Pinnick's style.
Like a routine.
I think when it comes to female football started dying when Amaju Pinnick came on board. He started looking at the easy way out. The Super Eagles is his major attention. At a point, they cancel camp allowances. They reduce the staff of the female team and all the age grade teams across board, both male and female. So at the end of the day,
that's bad.
All the focus was now on the Super Eagles. So I don't blame Asisa Joshua. She's currently playing in the US. She has seen the way things are done there. And of course, some of the girls who have been exposed have now seen that there's a different way to do it. When Joshua was playing in Nigeria, would she have ever come one day and start telling us that she wants equal pay with the Super Eagles?
Okay, so now one thing is certain now. We don't even know, let's say this, we don't even know how long this has been, but with what these ladies are saying now, it's obviously that it's been on a long route.
Yeah.
And let's say it, let's be realistic, factual to yourself, this is not right on this part of treatment-wise. I'm not going to say on the money aspect of it, but let's look into the part where Alozie, who is not used to what she sees, maybe that's the reason why it's out. Now, when you hear this lady's talk, congratulations to Oshola. She has seen it all, that's what to say. Now she's won African Player of the Year back-to-back, so she owns it. So she's a big face. She's a face that can lead out the people and say yes. Now, Ajibade as well, doing well for Atletico, the feminine ladies, in the La Liga eSports. Now, you have Alozie, who seems to see this in a strange way. Now, she decided to voice out. It means this has been happening for a long time.
And let me even tell you, the last time there was a rebel in the team,
that was a rebel. Yeah, okay, yes.
Desire Param was the only Amaju Pinnick time.
Right.
Amaju Pinnick time made sure she was excommunicated. She was stripped of the captain armband. She stopped getting invitation because she said that things can no longer continue the way they used to be.
That was where her downfall started from the team.
Yes, that's how she left the Super Falcons. And at a point, they were saying, we are not doing well at the World Cup. Get us a foreign coach. That was after so much dribbling. They brought in the secondary school or the university coach, Waldron, who was given a contract to also be managing a school team while managing the biggest brand
of football in
Africa when it comes to female football. You know, I laugh because at the end of the day, the thing is that why Nigeria is not getting a lot of things right is leadership. And unfortunately, we continue to have the worst of them all, being the NFF president, managing our football, managing government, and so on and so forth. I still it beats my imagination that the best that we have don't even get into those positions. Because if the best we have, Nigeria is not that bad. We have a lot of opportunity. Imagine a country like South Africa has the talent we have when it comes to female football. I bet you Nigeria will not even smell any, as far as any title in Africa is concerned.
Okay, so
but we've just been lucky.
Yeah, Ike, you talked about the treatment is poor, but you rated the money wise, it's cool. I'm asking you now, this part where Alozie is talking about, it's not bad. It's not bad to come out and say how you feel. But what I'm saying, how do you allow these ladies wash their wares? How? Is it don't happen?
You don't wash our wares before.
No, that part is really sad.
It's so
sad.
How do you wash your wares?
I mean, every team, even teams around local backyard teams have people who wash their clothes. I'm talking about teams that are aspiring to play maybe the NLL, the NLO.
Right.
Even at that level, they have people who who wash their. So it's so sad that we're having this sort of conversation about the biggest brand in African female football. But when it comes to the money, right? That's where I'm definitely going to be saying no. You cannot have it that way, right? Jerry actually made very salient points about countries that have made that possible because of the way male football is in that particular part of the world. But the truth is this: if you look at the female World Cup and the male World Cup, you know that there's disparity in income. Even in the club side, the money Mo Salah earns and the money Arnold earns is not the same.
Right.
People can never be the same. The value you bring.
But people see this as a gender.
No. Kizzy, even in the female team, the money.
No, with that certainly.
Yes, even in the female team, club side now, money certain players earn is bigger than the ones. So naturally, when it comes to wages, right, there's definitely going to be disparity as regards value. No, see, the thing is this: even if Jerry was talking about if they market them well, if you market them well and market the Super Eagles well, it's still going to come down to the same thing. If they actually, Jerry, if it's a mixed sport, right? If it's a mixed sport, we can be having a conversation of, okay, why are you paying this one less? They are doing the same job.
Yeah.
Our under 17 will beat these Falcons. So you will not tell me.
Don't tell me that.
No, I'm telling you.
No. They have to look at it.
It is yes, male will beat these Falcons. Will beat them.
Hands down.
See, not even.
No, you can't say that. You organize it. But David, let me come to you.
We're not asking for
what I'm saying is the value they are bringing.
Okay.
The value they are bringing is not the same. So they cannot be paid the same.
But I thought they play for the federation. I thought they play for Nigeria. It's still Nigeria, right?
See, one of the problems that we've had so far is the fact that we have people at the helms of affair who know nothing about that particular sport. What's his name? Our guy with the business that talks business, branding of business.
Ex-player?
No, our VOP guy. What's his name now?
Fagbo Frank.
Fagbo, the other guy that talks branding of football. Kelechi, yes. He made me understand that the worst of team can have value if branded well. Jerry made mention about marketing, and I just thought of it again. The Super Falcons 9 times. Well, if this was in South Africa, if this was in South Africa, no jokes. The whole of DSTV will fly.
I like this you're saying, and I'm getting upset now. Jerry, let's be factual, let's be truthful. If you are in that category, won't you come out to talk? You've won the AFCON, you've won it 9 times. Champions of, like for the female. No, it's not, wait, is it worth talking about, yes or no? Let me start with this. They didn't like for the champ. Is it worth talking about, yes or no? So when they look like say no, like that, is it worth talking about, yes or no?
What?
This story, is it worth talking about?
It's worth talking about.
It's a problem.
Is
there a problem?
I want to understand what.
Okay. What's your advice to the NFF on this?
I think they should brand the Falcons well, as much as they also have to brand the Super Eagles well. I mean, we don't even have infrastructure. The guys are actually doing whatever it is the guys are achieving today. They're achieving it by the stroke of just the talent they have.
So it's not about the federation.
No, what are they doing for them? Now the truth is this: if you are advocating for equal pay, this goes back to what I will be saying. What I've been saying. If you are advocating for equal pay, you have to also factor in the value they are bringing as regards their talent. Now imagine
the value.
Yes.
Now the value they are bringing. That's like a statement. Say it again.
The value they are bringing as regards their talent.
The value these ladies have brought so far. So I've gone far, gone close.
The same sport. Same competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll be unfair.
No, answer this one first.
No, you'll be unfair.
No,
yes, no, to do what?
You'll be unfair to say that, okay, yes, these guys are actually doing this 9 times. Tell me one country in the world, even Brazil, have they been able to conquer South America 9 times?
I feel like
it's not possible
now.
I
think I have a point here.
Yes.
I think my point is this.
Okay.
They've not treated them well to the way they brought value to the nation.
That's an argument you can have. That's true.
So that's what we're talking about.
No, but when you come to equal pay, you're actually saying that if you throw the male in that category or if you bring them here, they're definitely going to do the same. It's not possible.
David,
you cannot have it 9 times champion in any country in Africa for male football.
Why do I have a feeling?
It's not possible.
So that means you'll be playing down the effort
I'm not playing down
these young girls.
No, I'm saying they should be treated well.
Look.
What's the definition of well?
Can I be honest with you? If we're doing business, and I'm a businessman, which is one of the things I wanted to say earlier, get the football administration part of these criminals called the NFF. Possibly throw it to an NGO or anybody that knows business very well. Now, if I'm a businessman, and the both of you are given the same tax, Oga, you deliver 10 million naira this month. This man is delivering 100,000 naira. Oga, I will give you more value than this person when it comes to pay rise.
Okay, David, let me just ask one question about this swimming pool so that we'll put it to bed. You have $10 million. You have to invest in England? English league, male league. Tell me, which one are you going to male or female?
Let me
That's because
let me
the
not chip
English
in.
The both
Football
of them
Federation have done well enough to
For the
make
both of
sure
them.
that the league is really
Male
valuable.
and female. Oh.
See, for the purpose
You
of
can't
for the purpose
do
of
that
record.
comparison
Right.
over there.
Exactly what I'm saying. So even if you place them on the same pedestal as regards marketing, the male will always
See, the thing
bring
is
in
that,
more value.
The thing is that let me just rephrase. I think when the Super Falcons went to the 1999 World Cup, that was the
Yes.
first World Cup.
Yes.
No. Our first World Cup is
94.
2003.
What for Super
First World Cup.
No,
Super
no,
Falcons.
Falcons.
Okay.
I think it's
Falcons.
is
Right.
it 2003? 2003 was our first.
No, I think it was 99.
Okay, 99. Yes, 99.
the ladies? Yeah.
You know,
After their performance, I think we had a major sponsor who was packaging and sponsoring the team. I will not mention the brand for advert purposes.
Right.
The NFF at a point had a sponsor for the Super Falcons. But let me now tell you what happened to sponsorship money.
The money.
The money, yes. The thing is that there's a marketing company that I will not also mention the name that has been contracted to manage the national teams,
Both sides.
both sides, across both boards. They mop up the funds and they now share it amongst themselves and leave the crumbs. And most of the time, whatever is used to at least provide welfare for the team is what CAF brings or whatever FIFA brings. Right. And even inside that money, they will still share the dollars and leave crumbs for the team.
Not what they've gotten from
And it doesn't stop there, because if now I'm even beginning to reason the sponsorship money they get, for instance, because when the Super Falcons is playing, you see the official
Sponsor, yeah.
sponsor of the Super Falcons when they are showing their games. Even when they are going to competition. And even there was even a communication company that sponsored the Olympic team the last time. And they provided phones and gadgets that they should give each of the players. Do you know that the officials were withholding these gadgets and say these gadgets should not get to the athletes have to cry out. In the sense that the Super Falcons, with the sponsorship money they are getting, both from CAF and FIFA for attending this competition, if they are well utilized for these players will have no reason to complain.
Exactly my point.
True. They will have no reason to complain
About
even
the
the
money.
kids. Even
They
Nike,
will not even complain about
Nike is also bringing money for sponsoring their kids. Because if
there's a contract.
if
There's a
Nike
contract
is
as
giving
well.
you a contract for those jerseys, they have no business washing those jerseys, because you know what? The money they are paying for the sponsorship of the team is enough to hire laundry staff
Janitors.
to take care of their laundries. But it's just that greed.
It's
Greed
so
on the
much.
part of the NFF. They want to mop
move
up
on.
everything.
They want to. You see, this
Really
NFL.
sad.
See, I don't know the word again. I don't know how to explain to them. Please, Mina, help us. Let's bring brand into our nation. The other time on the show, I think Jerry, you guys were talking about Okocha coming out to say, Jerry even verse Okocha saying, your community, what have you done? But let's leave that aside.
Sorry to cut you. I even on the I heard when you were having a conversation with Fashanu,
Right.
and he was talking about when he came
Yeah.
to the Super Eagles, and they told him that they were going to get back to him
Yeah.
because he did not have something to drop. I mean, it's just absurd.
So it's-
Every
it's-
time
it's been here before.
it's a systemic thing. It's a terrible thing.
That money thing is an African thing.
Africa or
It's
Nigeria.
African thing. Kylian Mbappe's parents complained about Cameroon.
Okay,
Yeah, he wanted to be part of it. So it's an African thing.
All right, so let's move on now. Let's talk about the Premier League. Yes, big games today, but make sure you see all of the games. And you saw the result of what happened between Man United and Chelsea, Man United. But that's just what it is. Now let's talk about this one. Now, 3 Liverpool stars, Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, Ryan Gravenberch, has been nominated for the 24-25 Premier League Player of the Season award, and after helping their side clinch and that very one, the Liverpool side, on their 20th league title. Virgil van Dijk, the captain, has played every match, contributing to 14 clean sheets. Mo Salah as well leads the league with 46 goal contribution, including 28. Ryan Gravenberch as well, the Dutch international, missed just one game anchoring the midfield effectively. Now, other nominees are Morgan Gibbs White of Nottingham Forest, standout midfielder of the Forest star, Chris Wood, the New Zealand international, as well, scored 20 goals in 34 appearances his first season yet. Alexander Isak, Newcastle United, second in the scoring chart with 23 goals. Brian Bremo, Brentford, notched 18 goals and 7 assists, third in goal contribution. Declan Rice as well, Arsenal, influential presence in Arsenal midfield. And then Nottingham Forest are the only other club with multiple nominees, showcasing the impact of Gibbs White and Woods this season. So, guys, let's talk about this quickly now. Who should win this very one? Liverpool had 3 players on this one. Player of the season for you. Let me start with David. Who should get on this one? You laugh. Don't do NFF type.
You know why I'm actually laughing, right?
Yeah.
The Pogmon league winners have their representative in this studio.
Okay.
Seated down here. But again, I kind of wonder why you have 3 Liverpool players. Gravenberch for me
should not be in contention.
Why?
I'm asking you why.
Why is he there?
He played a key role, major role. That means that's like the engine.
Okay.
Even though he wasn't the best midfielder, they give McAllister.
I like the fact that you just said it now, even though. So for me, I think McAllister was supposed to be in that list ahead of Gravenberch, really, my personal opinion. But then, the winner of that particular award, non-negotiable at the time, Mohamed Salah, is for me the
accepted. So want to do it like a poll now in the house. Okay, do you accept Salah, best player?
Of course.
No doubt, no argument.
100%.
Not even no play, no Van Dijk.
If it's the young player that we're talking about,
coming there. Van Dijk.
See this one.
Van Dijk, Mo Salah is
the goals and everything puts in ahead.
Van Dijk is.
Assist-wise.
If we talk about defender of the season, I think he should right be up there.
Okay, for Van Dijk,
Yeah,
for player.
He gave Liverpool stability.
Yeah.
There's this thing about certain players. It comes with perhaps exposure, character, exposure, and of course experience in the game. And of course, Virgil van Dijk really helped Liverpool this season.
So let me ask you: if there was no Van Dijk, if there was no Salah, would have been Van Dijk for you?
Player of the season.
Yeah, if there was no Salah, I'm just saying. Let me assume there was no Salah in this contention. Let's talk.
Van Dijk is really a strong candidate, but of course, if we are looking at the reason why we will not look at Van Dijk, close to Salah is because we're looking at numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if the other person that is running with Virgil van Dijk is also perhaps not a striker or someone who has has not done something spectacular this season. I mean, Mo Salah broke record. So because of that, you don't want to actually look at
Okay. So the goals put Salah ahead.
It broke record as well.
Record. Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody knows these numbers are insane. That's the goal.
That's why.
Jerry, congratulations. First of all, we must give you that respect. It's due for you. You stood very strong for your team.
If Mohamed Salah wins the award, he's not going to share any.
But you have a bragging right. You can stand. You can talk in the locker room.
I know. I don't have lots of friends because I have all the Red Devil criminals around me. But
because Ike is always saying PGMO to you. Why?
It's an aberration when a club side has been favoured under Ferguson's time. Is now saying a Liverpool side that have only lost 3 games this season. How many times does a Premier League team play a whole season and loses 1, 2, or only 3 games? It's really difficult. The Premier League, no matter how good or favoured you are, to run the whole season and losing only 2 to 3 games is a very difficult
You're making the case of PGMOL.
Go and check.
Easy.
Even
because
Man
without
City,
them, we would have lost more games. I've told you before.
Calm down, wait. You can't. All the 4 trophies that Man City has won, how many times?
They lost more than 3.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's where we are
going. So that's where we are going. You're making it easy. Say
making it easy is that
PGMOL made it easy for you.
It will be unfair.
A lot of games you should have dropped 2 points.
It's unfair to the performance of the boys to tell them that the referee assisted them to win the league.
Yeah, I understand.
Because the same thing also happened when Liverpool won the league in 2019. They said it was COVID trophy. They always want to brand.
Okay, so
Jerry, you will not know that this is just a Man U team. They will never celebrate the success of the Liverpool team. Mo Salah well deserved.
So let's say this quickly because of time now. We need to go. It's still morning. We need to go for other shows. Let's get a point. Which player this season that we've seen? Is there any player that you know that should have been here but is not?
In this.
Yes, when you talk about they're not in this category. They're not in this nominees better award. But you've seen that this guy's supposed to be here but not there. Is there any player you can think of now?
I don't know why Saka is not.
Yes, that's the only name on my head.
Right.
That's the only name on my head.
No, they can actually be there.
What about Moise Caicedo?
They should be there because he also gets
ahead of players
what about Caicedo Chelsea?
No, Caicedo
Caicedo by his
Caicedo has top season.
Yeah,
but yes,
he woke up quite late.
He's not been consistent.
He woke up late.
Okay,
He's
he
not
won't
a
top place.
consistent
All right, let's
player.
talk. Osaka was also injured as well.
Even despite when he comes back from injury, he had so much to Arsenal.
But you Caicedo don't go. But Caicedo is. I mean, wait,
No,
you see,
he has not been consistent. We've
So,
seen a lot.
Caicedo,
No,
Yeah, we've seen.
Caicedo gave numbers.
no, it's a big shoe. He's
Caicedo gave numbers this
His
season.
I'm
money
not
is-
saying he's not giving big shoe. They've been games he also cost Chelsea.
No, but let's
this
be
season.
realistic.
Yeah,
Chelsea
there was
best
even a
player.
game he got a red card. In the game
No,
when
no,
they
we
were
know
supposed to
that's
lose.
no, we know, we know.
it's part
See,
of
what
the
about
game.
the player who is just from a Brighton side coming to Chelsea bigger side? When see, we know the pressure when it started.
Yeah.
But I mean, Caicedo.
This is in a
And what
Yes,
can what we now say about Kopama?
No, because
At least Kopama's numbers. It's not even on
his
his
number
list.
was his number was good, but I'm just saying like Palmer for the young category. I mean, he was shared. PhD they do however 14 Palmer. They not share them. They share them. Now let's talk about the Young Players Award. Quickly, 8 standout young talents have been nominated for the Premier League Young Player of the Season award for 24-25 season. The prize introduced in 2019-2020 is open to players who started the season and age 23 or under. Last year's winner, called Palmer Chelsea side, are vying to become the second player to retain the award after Phil Foden did that consecutive times in 2021 season and also 21-22 season. Now, the nominees for the Young Player of the Season, Liam Delap of Ipswich, despite Ipswich relegation, Delap impressed with 12 goals, becoming the first nominee from the relegated side. Anthony Elanga as well, Nottingham Forest, which started 10 assists and then 6 goals. Imagine as one of the league top creators. Almost give records to Nunes Espirito Santo side. They've not done so bad. Marinakis, and good job. Now, Ryan Gravenberch as well is in the news. Key figure in Liverpool title winning midfield, early nomination for both Young Player and Player of the Season. And also Dane Hoysen, the Spanish international. Madrid very soon, Bournemouth, the Italian defender, excelled in his debut season with report linking him to Real Madrid. I mean, this like it's going to be a done one. Then Cole Palmer is in the news. Last season winner, tallied 15 goals and 8 assists, maintaining his status as a creative force. João Pedro, Brighton Hove Albion, notable for scoring and Brazil international key. Morgan Gibbs White, no, Morgan Gibbs, that's the name, sorry. Morgan Rogers, sorry. Aston Villa, pair with Ramsey, Kamara, good player with Onana, and under Emery, William Saliba. I mean, we could call all of these guys. I just made you know the names. Now, guys, let's talk about this. Competition is fierce, and this rising stars battle for recognition in the league best young talent this season. If you ask me my opinion, I'll tell you. But David, who?
I think
Don't just say without explanation.
Kopama.
Kopama.
Gravenberch.
Yeah, there's a player that's not on that list.
Oh, you don't be one guy. Who is that?
Yeah, Luis Kelly. Talking about
Luis Kelly.
he
Arsenal.
was awesome for Arsenal this season, and he should.
And where he plays the big games.
Maybe because he didn't start early with the team.
Or you think because he's been visible in bigger games?
No, yeah. If a player who was converted from midfield to left full back,
Right.
and he was able to marshal that full back position, and he dribbles, he can score, he can cross. He's just everything every full back will surely want to envy, and he's
I think
multi-talented.
he's
That
the
means he
best
can
left
play.
back in Premier League.
He can play in the midfield and play in the full back position.
Yeah,
And what if he?
you have to pick Caicedo. Caicedo, you know, like I don't know. We can talk about
Casedo's
what's
season.
going on. Yeah.
Caicedo is a good player.
Okay.
I think one of the things people look who actually select these players. One of the things they look out for is not you as a player.
Right.
Especially for this category. Yeah, they know you're actually young. They know you are good.
Yeah.
But they want to see how consistent you've been all through the season. That's one of the reasons why Mascali isn't there.
Right.
Mascali, when he plays in other games that are actually not high-profile games, he just comes ordinary, right? But these guys, ordinary games,
I didn't get it.
he just comes in ordinary. You see him like just in
on mere games.
on normal games.
I feel like that guy has every of his game is 100. It's better when you notice.
No.
He's a fantastic
No,
player. That
no,
would
no.
be fair
It's
to
not well,
Kelly.
though.
No,
Understand
every
what I'm
time he
saying?
plays, he knows his game.
Mascali against Madrid, right?
But
Mascali against Bournemouth. You see the what he comes out with.
Right.
The thing is
It's quite
that you
different.
cannot expect
His
the same
mentality
tempo.
now.
You know
No,
why?
no.
The quality of the team you are playing
Jerry,
will bring out the best in you.
that's exactly what the
So
consistency is.
Bournemouth will not make a Mascali sweat like a Madrid will make him sweat. So it more like it makes it look easy. That's why you not see that effort he puts in when he plays
But
the
you
Real Madrid
see,
side.
you see when we look at when we say a player is the best player in the world or a player is the best a player and the best player in the league, right? We look at the number of games he, like for example, a striker, right? Look at the number of games he actually has goals involvement in. And many of those times, some of these players don't even get to score in those big games.
No, I even want to
But
make
you know,
my own account
when you
is
say big game,
head to head against
I mean, if you're
other
scoring,
names on that list.
see, regardless, if Haaland, we rated Haaland, that was the season, was it last season? He wasn't scoring, he didn't score like big games. But you still see, he's not about the big games.
Exactly what I'm saying for a striker, right? That's exactly where I was going. That as a striker, you might not even turn up for big games, but your numbers will keep going.
Yeah, true.
Right. Now, a player, if you look at a player, you want to see the integral part of the player is all through the season. So it doesn't matter how well you turn up in big games.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about him now, turning up very well in big games. And then in games that are comparatively less,
okay, so
you see him just
who is it for you? Let's talk about
for me. It's going to be Gravenberch.
Really? For the young player?
Yes, for the young player of the year.
Who wins for you?
For him to even make.
Wait, Gravenberch, Kopama. Okay, for him to make two.
No, I think he's a standard performer. Take out Mo Salah, take out Virgil van Dijk. He's Liverpool's third most important player this year. Apart from goalkeepers, I don't like talking about goalkeepers because I always say it. You might have a very bad goalkeeper.
What about McAllister?
McAllister comes to maybe fourth behind Gravenberch.
Is that how you rate it?
I'm telling you.
In the midfield.
See, that guy.
Yeah, but you know McAllister is.
No, McAllister is a fantastic player. Nobody's going to take his quality away from him.
But he's the best midfielder this season. They gave it to him.
I think I want to give it.
This is a category, not player of the season.
Give it to him.
I'll give it to him, but
for the club.
But the clause here for Gravenberch is he played in an unusual position.
Yeah,
let's not forget.
Nothing unusual.
For him.
That's an unusual role.
How?
Unusual role for him at Liverpool.
What is his?
Wait.
No, he's never been a defensive.
He has never been.
He's never been a defensive. No, we've talked about it before.
Who is a box-to-box defender? Who is the box-to-box?
I'm not saying
who is the box-to-box?
No,
the thing is that
I can explain.
It's an unusual role.
Let me talk. Let me say this.
That he took responsibility. Do you know that?
No, let me explain something. You ask the question. You ask who's the box-to-box, and I'm going to give you an example of players who are in that role. N'Golo Kante, during his playing days in Leicester, when he started playing with the holding role. Now, a box-to-box player is that man. You either.
So before you go far,
okay.
So who is that player? You said N'Golo Kante.
I'm just giving an example.
I know before.
Bellingham, Dortmund, box-to-box.
What I'm saying
now
is
attacking Madrid.
No box-to-box. What I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this. You say N'Golo Kante before he moved, right? He was playing the holding role.
Right.
So a holding midfielder is what? Is it not a defensive?
What do you say?
A holding midfielder is a holding midfielder, not a defensive midfielder.
Yes, why not?
Right. So which means you have the ability to actually play. Now, a player. Let's even go to the basis of
we can't go to the basis. Okay? We can't go to the basis now. We need to go. Our time is up quickly. But Gravenberch for you.
Absolutely, it's fantastic.
Kopama. So goals no matter now again. Kopama is 6 goals. Even though no goal push.
See, Kopama scored goals last season.
That's what I'm saying.
And the thing is that this season,
I said before
this season, if he has fallen below that expectation,
yes, he will not be there.
Yes,
okay,
because last season he has already set a standard.
Yeah.
So this season he went below that standard.
I agree with you.
Exactly.
So now, for you, we'll go back to this clip and see it on YouTube. Tell me again, Gravenberch for you young player.
Gravenberch.
Kopama. I think for me, I'll go with Den Hoyten, the Kopama player. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much, guys. We need to go. Thank you so much. Yes, it's the weekend kickoff. We come to a close right now. Yes, you've been watching Voice of the Football TV. And then, my name is Kizzy K. It was a great time with these guys. If you give us a chance, we'll talk and they go. We'll not get what we do now. This one they do. But then, we'll be back on the show again for Monday, hopefully, and also the locker room as well. Sports Public and locker room. Just do this more. Thank you so much for being part of us. And then, my name is Kizzy K. Have a great weekend. Have yourself a great weekend. Don't go find trouble. I'm out.